The moment she almost gave up, Anna sat quietly in the corner of the makeup trailer, her fingers trembling slightly as she scrolled through the unread messages on her phone. Most were from agents, a few from family, but none of them made her feel better. Her heart felt heavy. She had tried everything: auditions, workshops, late nights, studying scenes, early mornings on set. Yet somehow she still felt like an outsider in a world full of bright lights and louder voices. It had been a tough week. The director had yelled at her again, this time because her accent slipped during a line. She had practiced that line 50 times. She whispered it to herself on the way to work, repeated it in the mirror, even said it in her sleep. But when the cameras rolled, nerves made her voice shake. No one said anything kind. They just moved on, leaving her alone in her silence. That day, she overheard someone from the crew whisper, "She's not cut out for this. Pretty face, but she doesn't belong here." They hurt more than she wanted to admit. In the quiet moments they echoed. Then something changed. Keanu walked into the trailer. His footsteps were calm, like he had all the time in the world. He wasn't wearing his costume yet. His hair was still damp from the rain outside. When he saw Anna, he didn't look away like everyone else. He looked right at her. "You okay?" he asked, his voice soft. Anna forced a smile. "Just tired." But Keanu didn't move. He sat down beside her, leaving a respectful space between them. The silence wasn't awkward. It was gentle. "You." "No," he said after a moment. "When I started, I had a lot of bad days too. People used to laugh at the way I spoke, said I looked too blank, said I didn't feel real." Anna turned to him, her eyes slowly warming. "You really?" Keanu nodded. "More than once, I wanted to quit." Anna couldn't believe it. This man, the kindest one on set, the one everyone admired, had once felt what she was feeling now. "Why didn't you?" she asked. He looked down at his hands. "It's because one person believed in me. Just one. And sometimes that's all it takes." Anna didn't know what to say. No one had spoken to her like that in weeks. Maybe longer. She felt her throat tighten. She looked away quickly, afraid tears might show. Keanu didn't push. He just sat there with her, like a silent shield between her and the world. After a moment, he stood up. "You're doing great, Anna. Don't let them make you smaller." Then he walked out, leaving the door open behind him. That night, Anna went home and stared at her reflection. She didn't practice lines. She didn't rehearse. She just looked at herself and whispered, "I belong." It was the first time in days that she believed it. The next morning, something unexpected happened. When Anna stepped onto the set, the lighting crew greeted her by name. Costume designer offered her a warm tea. And when the director gave notes, they were softer, more patient. She didn't know what changed, but she had a feeling Keanu had something to do with it. Still not. Everyone was kind. The assistant producer, a woman named Claire, continued giving her cold looks. And during the next scene, when Anna forgot a small line, Claire scoffed loudly and muttered something cruel under her breath. Anna felt her confidence start to crumble again, but then, right in the middle of the scene, Keanu did something no one expected. He stopped the take, gently raised his hand, said, "I think we all need a moment." Everyone froze. "What's the problem?" the director asked. Keanu looked straight at Claire. His voice wasn't angry, but it was firm. "We want this film to work. We have to support each other, not tear each other down." The room went silent. Claire looked embarrassed. She didn't say a word. Anna stood there, shocked. No one had ever stood up for her like that. Not on set, not in public. After the scene wrapped, she found a quiet corner and let herself cry. Not because she was hurt, but because for the first time in a long while, she felt seen, and behind those tears, a small flame started to burn again. Not rage, not revenge, hope. And that hope changed everything. Whispers behind the Senesana stepped onto set the next day with a quiet strength in her chest. It was not loud or bold, didn't shout or demand attention. It was steady. It was hers. For the first time in weeks, she didn't feel invisible. She could still hear the whispers behind her back, feel the stares when she walked by, but they didn't sink into her bones the way they used to. She carried Keanu's words like armor. You're doing great. Don't let them make you smaller. Those words echoed when Claire gave her another hard stare from across the studio. Claire didn't say anything, but her expression was sharp enough to cut through glass. Anna didn't flinch. The morning passed slowly. Each scene took longer than planned. The director seemed tense. The producers huddled in corners, whispering. Something felt off. During a break, Anna found herself alone in the garden behind the studio. It was quiet there, filled with soft sunlight and old stone benches. She sat down and let herself breathe. For a few minutes, she closed her eyes and let the wind touch her face. Then she heard footsteps. Keanu. He didn't say anything at first, just sat beside her again like before. Comfortable silence, no pressure to talk. After a few minutes, he spoke. They're thinking of replacing you. Anna's breath caught in her throat. She turned to him, eyes wide. What? She whispered. He looked at her carefully. Some of the producers think you're too green. They don't see what I see.
Anna
Looked away. Her heart thudded. Her hands shook. Why are you telling me this? She asked. Because you deserve to know, he said. And because you still have time to change their minds. Tears burned at the back of her eyes, but she blinked them away. How? Keanu leaned back, looking up at the clouds. You stop trying to be perfect. You stop trying to be someone else. You show them you. Anna was quiet. What if me isn't enough? She said. Keanu smiled softly. And they don't deserve you. Those words sat with her all day. They followed her onto the set, into her next scene. It was a tough one, emotional, raw, filled with pain. Her character had to break down, collapse, rebuild herself in front of the camera. As the cameras rolled, Anna let go. She forgot the pressure, forgot the whispers, forgot Claire, forgot the producers. She didn't act, felt and something changed. The air in the room grew still. The crew stopped fidgeting. Even the director leaned forward in his chair. When the scene ended, no one said a word. Then the director stood. Slowly, he walked over to her, put a hand on her shoulder and said, "That was it." Just those 3 words. Anna stepped off the set and sat on a crate backstage. She felt light, like she'd let go of a weight she didn't know she was carrying. But the peace didn't last. That night, as she scrolled through her phone in bed, she saw an article. Ana de Armas struggles on set. As insiders claim she's not ready, her stomach dropped. She opened the article. It was filled with quotes from anonymous crew members, criticizing her performance, her accent, her attitude. They painted her as difficult, distracted, and fragile. And near the end of the piece, there it was, a quote from Claire. Not by name, but clearly her. Some people are just hired for their looks. Anna stared at the screen. Her throat tightened. She felt like she was falling again. The next morning, she walked into the studio with a mask on. She smiled, nodded, said her lines. But inside, she felt hollow. Keanu saw it. He pulled her aside between takes. You read it? Yana nodded. Don't let it in, he said. I already did. He didn't say anything, didn't try to fix it. Just stood beside her while she swallowed the ache. Later that day, something unexpected happened. A letter arrived in her trailer, handwritten, no name, no signature. Just a folded piece of paper left on her mirror. It said, "They see your light. That's why they try to dim it. Don't let them. Keep shining." Anna stared at it for a long time. The handwriting looked familiar. She couldn't place it. She folded the note and tucked it into her bag. She didn't know who wrote it. But in that moment, it didn't matter. Someone believed in her, and it gave her just enough strength to keep going. The voice she almost loathed, Stana, sat in her trailer with the script on her lap, but the words blurred. Her mind drifted to the article again, and the way people stared when she walked past them now. Their eyes were louder than their voices. When they said nothing, she felt the weight of their judgment. She had thought the worst was over. She thought after that powerful scene, things would change. But the truth was, this world didn't always reward the ones who fought quietly. Sometimes it punished them more. She reached into her bag and pulled out the letter again. They see your light. That's why they try to dim it. She read it slowly, like it was a prayer. A soft knock interrupted her thoughts. "Come in," she said gently. Keanu opened the door. "Can I sit?" he asked. She nodded. He looked at her for a long moment. "You look like you're carrying too much again." Anna gave a weak smile. "I thought I was getting stronger." "You are," Keanu said, "but strength doesn't mean silence. Sometimes it means speaking up." Anna lowered her gaze. "I don't want to complain." "You're not complaining," he said. "You're surviving." They sat in silence for a while. Then Keanu handed her something, a thin journal. Cover was worn, the pages yellowed with time. "What's this?" she asked. "My first year in Hollywood," he said. "I wrote everything down. Every failure. Every insult. Every time someone said I wasn't enough." Anna flipped through the pages. The handwriting was messy, rushed, filled with raw emotion. She saw pages about auditions gone wrong, about agents walking out, about people laughing at his name. "You wrote all this?" she asked. Keanu nodded. "It reminded me that I wasn't alone, even if it felt like it." She held the journal like it was something sacred. "Why are you giving it to me?" "Because you need to know that the pain is part of the path. It's not the end of it." Later that day, something shifted. During lunch, one of the younger makeup artists, Jasmine, pulled Anna aside. "I read the article," she said quietly. "But I also saw your scene. You were amazing." Anna blinked, surprised. "I hope you don't believe what they're saying," Jasmine added. "You're one of the kindest people here." Anna didn't know what to say. But her heart warmed then. Something unexpected happened. One of the producers, Mr. Lang, asked to speak with her privately. He was one of the ones who had doubted her. "Anna," he said, "I want to be honest. We weren't sure about you at first." She stiffened. "But you proved something to us this week. That scene, what you brought to it, was more than just acting, it was truth." Anna swallowed. "Thank you," he continued. "We've decided to include more of your character in the final cut." Anna's eyes widened. "Really?" He nodded. "You've earned it." She walked out of his office in a daze. A good daze. When she told Keanu, he smiled. "I'm proud of you, but not surprised." She laughed softly. "I don't even know how to thank you." "Don't," he said. "Just keep going." But life, as always, had other plans. The next week, while filming a stunt scene, Anna injured her leg. It wasn't serious, but bad enough to halt production for a few days. The whispers came back quickly. "Too fragile. Bad luck. This shoot is cursed." Anna lay in her trailer with her leg propped up, staring at the ceiling. She felt helpless, useless, like all the progress she made was slipping away. But then, late at night, she heard a knock. Keanu again. This time he brought her food. "Homemade soup? You cook?" she asked, surprised. "I try," he said with a shy smile. They ate together in the quiet. The warmth of the soup matched the warmth in her chest. "Do you ever get tired?" she asked suddenly. He looked up. "Tired? Of what?" "Being the one who helps everyone else." He thought for a moment. "Sometimes. But helping someone else reminds me of who I want to be." Anna looked at him. Really looked at him. "You're rare," she said. Keanu shook his head. Gently. "I'm just trying to be kind in a world that forgets how to be." That night, Anna wrote in a journal of her own. She wrote about fear, about pain, about kindness, and for the first time she ended her entry with something new. "Today I remembered who I am." When kindness faced, the freely days passed slowly after Anna's injury. The set moved forward, but a quiet tension filled the air. Anna stayed mostly in her trailer, resting her leg. Watching scenes through a monitor, feeling both close and far from everything. Some days were quiet. Others, painful. She hated sitting still. Hated watching everyone else move forward while she stayed in place. But Keanu visited almost every day. He didn't always say much. Sometimes he brought books. Sometimes he just sat beside her and listened. One afternoon, he brought her a notebook and a pen. "What's this for?" Anna asked. "Write your story," he said. "My story?" "Not the script. Not what they want. Write your truth." Anna opened the notebook slowly. Blank pages stared back at her. It scared her a little. The idea of putting herself down in ink, but she began. Slowly, just a few lines. I am not here to be perfect. I am here to be real. The words came like small breaths. One by one, they began to form something honest. And for the first time in weeks, she felt a quiet strength return. But just as things began to settle, another storm arrived. A new article surfaced. This one worse than the first. It accused Anna of faking her injury to gain sympathy. It claimed she was trying to rewrite her character into a larger role by getting closer to Keanu. Anna's hand shook as she read the headline. Her eyes scanned. The words unable to breathe. The article had pictures once taken without her knowing. Her sitting with Keanu, her smiling in the garden, her limping to her trailer. They twisted the truth into something ugly. Anna felt the weight return. Heavier this time. When she looked at her phone again, her inbox was flooded. Some messages were cruel, others confused. Even a few people she thought were friends started to pull away. She sat in her trailer. Frozen, the door opened. Keanu stepped. In his face, calm but serious. I saw it, he said. Anna looked up. Is it true? Do people think I did this on purpose? Keanu sat down beside her. People believe what they're told, till they see the truth for themselves. What truth? She whispered. I feel like I'm disappearing. Keanu didn't. Speak right away. Then, gently, he reached into his coat pocket and pulled out something small. It was a photograph, old, worn at the edges. This is me, he said. Years ago, during a film I thought would break me, and I studied the photo. Keanu looked tired. Younger? Sad? I almost quit after that film, he said. The press tore me apart. Studio stopped calling. What did you do? Anna asked. I kept showing up, he said. Even when it hurt. Especially when it hurt. Anna felt tears rise. But I'm not you, she said. Keanu looked at her gently. And that's your power. You're you. And you don't need to prove anything to people who don't care to look deeper. That evening, Anna made a choice. She wrote a short message on her social media. No drama, no blame. She simply said, I won't let lies shape my truth. I'm here. I'm learning. I'm healing. And I'm not going anywhere. The response was unexpected. Fans flooded the comments with support. Okay. Other actors reached out privately. One well-known actress messaged her saying, I've been there too. You're not alone. Still not everyone was kind. Claire, who had remained quiet for days, now started speaking louder behind the scenes. She told crew members that Anna was manipulating Keanu. She hinted that Anna was a calculated starlet playing the victim. It reached Keanu. He didn't explode. He didn't yell. He did something more powerful. During a press event, when asked about the rumors, he looked directly into the camera and said, Anna is one of the most honest and hardworking people I've met. Anyone who doubts her doesn't know her at all. The video went viral. Within hours, fans were posting hashtags of support. Articles were rewritten. Claire, who had built her power on quiet poison, was called in by the producers. They had seen enough. She was asked to leave the project. Anna didn't celebrate. She didn't smile. Instead, she sat in her trailer and cried. Not because someone was gone, but because the truth had finally stood up and stayed standing later that night. Keanu found her in the garden again. You didn't have to do that, Anna said quietly. Yes, I did, he replied. Because when good people stay silent, the wrong ones get louder. Anna looked at him with tear-filled eyes. Thank you, he gave a soft smile. Just keep writing your story. She did. The moment she became unbreakable, Set felt different now. Not louder, not quieter. Just different. People looked Anna in the eye when they passed her. Some gave small smiles. Others simply nodded. It wasn't warmth yet, but it wasn't ice anymore. Either it was respect, and that meant everything. Anna walked slowly, but without help. Her legs still ached, but she didn't limp. She had learned to carry herself with strength even when it hurt. Not to hide the pain, but to show that pain didn't define her. The notebook Keanu gave her now held pages filled with her thoughts. Truths she had never said out loud. Fears, dreams, tiny victories. even memories from before Hollywood, like when she used to watch movies alone on a small TV in Cuba, telling herself one day that would be her, and now it was. Only it wasn't what she imagined. It was messier, harder, but somehow more real. One morning, the director pulled her aside. "Anna," he said, "we're rewriting the final scene." Her heart skipped. Rewriting. He nodded. "We're giving your character more voice, more heart, because we see it in you now. You brought something none of us expected." Anna stood still for a second, processing his words.
She didn't.
"Know what to say? You earned this," he added before walking away. She stood there alone. The wind brushed her face gently, almost like it was whispering. "See? You were always meant to be here." As filming neared its end, something unexpected happened. The studio announced an early screening for a select audience. Press, critics, insiders. Anna panicked quietly. What if they didn't like her performance? What if all the old whispers came back? That evening, Keanu found her backstage, sitting with her notebook open but untouched. "Big day tomorrow," he said softly. She nodded. "I feel like I can't breathe." He sat beside her. "Want to hear something strange?" "What?" "Still get nervous before every screening?" Anna turned to him, surprised. "But you're," he cut in, smiling. "Just a guy who still doubts himself sometimes." She laughed gently. "Somehow, that makes me feel better." "Good," he said, "because here's the truth. Your performance is not just good. It's honest. People feel honesty, even if they don't understand it." She looked at him and whispered, "Promise." Keanu smiled. "I wouldn't lie to you." The next night, Anna sat in the front row of the private theater, her hands clasped tightly in her lap. The lights dimmed. The film began. She watched herself on screen with a strange distance, like seeing someone else live her pain, her triumph. When her final scene came, the one the director rewrote, just for her, she felt her heart stop in the scene. Her character stood in the middle of chaos, people shouting, the world falling apart. But she stood still, looked into the camera, whispered, "I'm still here." The room stayed silent as the credits rolled, then applause, not polite, not forced, real. Anna blinked. Her eyes stung. She looked around. Some audience members were wiping away tears. Others were nodding slowly. A well-known critic approached her afterward. "That performance," said, "wasn't just acting. It was a revelation." She felt something break open inside her. Not pain, not fear. Freedom, as the crowd buzzed. Around her, she stepped outside for air. The night was cool, the stars quiet. Keanu joined her a moment later. "You did it," he said. "No," Anna said softly. "We did it." He gave her that kind, quiet smile she had come to trust more than anything. "You were always capable," he said. "I just reminded you." Anna turned to him. "Do you know what I learned?" "What?" "That no matter how much they try to tear you down, no one can take away what you've built inside yourself." Keanu nodded slowly. "What you've built is powerful." A week later, the full cast gathered for the final day of filming. There were speeches, laughter, hugs, some tears. When Anna took the mic, her voice was calm but full. "Thank you," she said, "to everyone who gave me a chance. And to those who didn't, who gave me a reason to grow stronger." No one spoke. They just listened. This story, this journey, it changed me. And I hope it reminds someone out there that your truth matters, even when it's quiet. The crew clapped. The team clapped. Keanu clapped the loudest. And when she stepped down, he hugged her tightly. "I'm proud of you," he whispered. Anna smiled, holding back tears. "Thank you for standing beside me," she said. But Keanu shook his head gently. "I didn't stand beside you," he pointed to her heart. "You stood up all on your own." The gift no one saw coming. Weeks passed. The film wrapped. The cameras stopped rolling. The set was packed up. But the story, the real story, was just beginning for Anna. Her performance had gained attention, not the kind that fades with headlines, but the kind that lingers. People remembered the way her eyes held pain, the way her voice broke with quiet strength. Critics wrote about her like she had arrived. But the truth was, she had always been there. They just hadn't looked close enough before. Yet through all the praise, through every email and every congratulation, Anna stayed grounded because she remembered the days they didn't clap, the nights she cried in silence, the time she almost quit. And she remembered the one person who never let her disappear. Keanu. They didn't talk every day. Life got busy. New projects started. Interviews, meetings, photo shoots. But whenever her phone lit up with his name, she smiled. Because she knew no matter where life took them, that bond remained. One morning, weeks after the film's release, Anna received a package. No name, no note. Just a simple brown box left at her door. Inside was a single item, a worn, leather-bound notebook. Her breath caught. She opened it gently. It was his journal, the one he had once lent her during her hardest days on set. But this time, something had been added. In the back, folded paper with Keanu's handwriting, it read, "You gave this back to me full of your strength. Now I'm giving it to you forever, because one day someone else will need it. When they do, you'll know exactly what to say." Anna's hands trembled. Beneath the letter was something else, a photograph. It was of her and of Keanu, taken on the last day of filming. They were sitting on the garden bench, laughing. Sunlight touched both their faces. On the back he had written, "Light attracts light." Anna sat down, holding the journal to her chest. Memories rushed in. The pain, the whispers, the moments she almost walked away, the kindness that kept her going. The man who never asked for anything in return, and the truth she now carried, stronger than ever. That evening, she did something she hadn't done before. She walked into a small acting class near downtown, the kind filled with hopeful eyes and trembling voices. The teacher, surprised to see her, offered to let her speak. She stood in front of the group, newcomers with dreams just like hers once weren't. She told them everything, not the red carpets, not the glamour, but the truth. About fear, about rejection, about one person believing in you when no one else does. And as she spoke, she saw one young girl in the back, barely 18, notebook in her lap, eyes wide, hands shaking. Anna smiled, softly, because she knew that girl was her. Years ago, and now it was her turn. After the class ended, Anna walked up to the girl and placed something gently in her hands. The notebook, the same one Keanu had given her. The girl looked up, confused. "What is this?" Anna smiled. "Your story," she said. "You just haven't written it yet." That night, Yana walked home quietly. No cameras.
Wow.
No lights. Just a breeze brushing past her, and she realized something. This wasn't the end of her story. It was the beginning of something much bigger. A reminder that kindness is never wasted. That strength can be quiet. That sometimes all it takes to change a life is one person who sees you when no one else does.